Hello and welcome back to the world's most boring YouTube channel. I am Keith R. Reese and this is the YouTube channel for Keith R. Reese Books. And I am proud to announce that I have released my 10th novel and 12th novel written overall. And it is another science fiction novel. I haven't written science fiction since I did the One Night Trilogy, which includes One Night in Bangkok, which was released in 2018 by the publisher Savant Books and Publications. And I have not gone back to that since, but I had been wanting to tackle a story for a long time now, 40 years to be exact, of one of my favorite record albums that came out from probably my favorite band of the 1970s and 80s, a UK band, a British band called Electric Light Orchestra, and most people know it as ELO. And in 1981, they came out with a new album called Time, which was a great departure from their older music and more catchier sounds in the 70s. And what it was a concept album which told a loosely based time travel story. With each song, every track in the record followed this story that was created by the ELO creator himself, Jeff Lynne. Jeff Lynne is the musician who wrote all the songs and wrote all the music for all the ELO albums over time. So the story is inspired by Jeff Lynne's work with ELO. And I always thought it would be cool to write something, my own take on that particular record album. And I never got around to it until now, and the pandemic kind of helped spur my imagination. And the pandemic actually plays into the story because it takes place 114 years in the future from the current time of the protagonist of the story, which was 1981, the same year that the album came out. So 114 years later would be the year 2095. And that is the name of my new novel that just came out July 2nd. And July 2nd just happened to be the same date that Time, the album by ELO, came out 40 years ago. So I released it on that day in honor of ELO's 40-year anniversary. And that is a great cover. I'll let you look at it again. And the cover design is courtesy of a man named Thomas Budok, who put his work for free up on Pixabay, and that's what I created. And it's a science fiction book about time travel, and the character ends up, like I said, in 2095 and living out in outer space on cities that are orbiting the Earth, and they call it Satellite 1, and there's also Satellite 2. And he is unexpectedly transported from 1981 into the future. And before he leaves 1981, he gets a strange message on his computer. And the message is basically telling him that some unknown person is telling him that she loves him. And just like in the music in the album, there's a song called Yours Truly 2095, and the lyrics in that song is, I love you sincerely, yours truly. And that's the message that he gets on his computer before he is snatched up into the future unknowingly. And he is thrust into an epic adventure up in space where he is becoming or assimilates into this new society that lives on this massive city in outer space, and where people are not allowed to speak openly. They can only speak when they're on their own private quarters, but if they're in public, they cannot speak because it's said to say that they're going to save on oxygen, so to conserve their oxygen supply. And he finds the source of the person who has sent him this romantic message from beyond, and it's not what he expected. And soon he is challenged into entering what kind of like the equivalent of our Olympic Games that we have now. They call them the Orbiter Games. And he has to win the Orbiter Games in order to win the coveted ticket to the moon. So we have also colonized the moon in this story, and even reached out as far as the moons of Mars. So the story takes place and goes to many different places. There's a lot of action. There's even a little bit of romance. Um, I would say it's for people high school age and up, probably 16 and higher, after 16 and up. It's a good, clean read. As far as the scenes go, there's just mild profanity. The romantic scenes are very watered down. I don't try to get too carried away with that and get too raunchy, because I don't like to write that. And I try to keep my work as clean as possible. But it was a fun job. It was a fun book to write. A lot of fun to come up with the twists and turns that come up. And I also found a very clever way to tie this book into a certain trilogy that I won't mention again. But if you read the book, you will find out what happens at the end and where it's supposed to lead to. And some people have already figured that out and started reading the next part. And I'm not going to say any more about that, but I can say part 2 of the One Night trilogy will be coming out soon. I have reached my goal on sales for One Night in Bangkok, and I'll be talking soon with the publisher, Savant Books and Publications, on getting part 2 out. So that's another exciting announcement that I had. And I'm not ready to disclose the title to that book yet, but once we get things worked out with the publisher, those will be coming thus forth. So hope everyone enjoys the new book. One thing I can say that I'm very proud of, this book has only been out for 10 days, and it has already worked its way up into the bestseller list on Amazon in the genre of time travel fiction. And that was very unexpected, but it seems to be catching on, and hope people that are reading it right now are liking it. And I'm very proud of that accomplishment. I've never had a book listed on the bestseller list on Amazon in any genre. So I'm very proud of that, and so hopefully that will encourage more people to go out and pick it up. It's available in paperback like this, ebook, and also hardcover, which I hear is a very nice version of the book. So enjoy it, and we'll be back soon with another episode, hopefully in the coming months. But until now, enjoy your reading and have a great day. Happy reading.